go. Have you all?
A big believer of. I'm really, really, really a big believer of. I got some calls coming. Let me grab you in just a moment, but I'm a big believer of, holding on and believing that, accepting that there's hard times. Right now I'm going to give a call from 661 area code, see if you're on the air. Hey, this is Dr. T. You're on the air. Hey.
Oh, hi. I was just
Hey, how are
wondering
you?
about this little thing that happened yesterday.
Okay.
I have a 11-year-old sister. I'm 19. And yesterday she came into my room. She grabbed my cock and she started biting on it. Do you know why?
You said, do I know why?
Yeah, do you know why she would do that?
No, I don't know. Do you know why she wouldn't come in and just start biting on your cock? I mean, that might be an erotic thing that she finds interesting and finds exciting for her. Did she give you a reason? Did you ask her why?
I just kind of let it happen. I didn't really ask.
Well, one of the things, and thanks for your question, quite an interesting one, is that in your sexual world, this might be a moment of transition. This is a time to communicate. She might be there telling you that these are some of the things that she wants to incorporate, like pain and exploration in that sort of a world. And you might see if this is something that you want to experience in your life. But communication is really big, so you can't just imagine, me being here. I can only imagine what she might have gone through her head. But calling in, how can I help you out?
I'm wondering if you can give me some advice about something my friend's going through.
Oh, sure. Why don't you share?
All right. So let me give you a little description of him. So he's graduated top of his class in the Navy SEALs. Involved. Sorry. He was involved in.
Hello? I guess we lost that one. The call has been dropped. So if you're out there, you can give me a call back. If not, I'm sorry that I missed you and your call was dropped. Looks like I'm going to answer 672 in Bradley. Hey, how are you? You on the air?
Hello?
In Bradley? Yes, how are you?
Oh. About the earlier, the girl that bit on the guy's cock, did you hear that he said she was 12?
He may have, but I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the 12
That's
piece.
what he
I would have.
She was 12.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't hear that at all, because that's the one thing. As far as this show is concerned, I believe in open sexuality, and it's a sex positive thing, but we're not talking illegal and don't condone rape or being with folk who are under the age of consent. So thanks for pointing that out. I did not hear
I would
that.
agree with you, but there is a good point, though. But it's the age of consent is just a legal thing. It's not based on psychology. It's not based on anything else. So why does the government? Why does the government have the right to tell a kid what to do?
Well, that's a good question. I think that's just laws are just about society and individuals trying to get along with each other. I agree that, depending on the country, depending on the people and how they're raised, the age of consent can be different or not even relevant to a particular society. But as long as we have large groups of people trying to maintain and live together, I think there's always going to be laws that fit some folk and not others.
I would agree, but also I think it's the fact that it's just that the government hasn't caught up to the times, and we're still on the old ways of things of how everything is, sex is very hush-hush and you shouldn't talk about it and everything. And, I mean, I believe that children are going to do these things whether you want them to or not. And I really do think that parents need to take a more active role in talking to their children about these kinds of things so we wouldn't have these teenage pregnancies anymore.
Well, that's one of those things that, I definitely agree in the one way about sex being one of the things that governments or is always going to be a hot topic and things of that nature. But the country that, American country that we live in, we don't prepare young folk to be sexual beings in that way, to be in relationships with folks who are adults. So, in other countries where, having children and having families at such a young age, I think it's...
Sorry? Hello?
Yeah, it seems like I was cut off. I apologize. I don't know what's going on, but I seem to have been cut off like that. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat room for whatever reason. It seems like that the conversation of children and sexuality has come up. I really am a believer of, like I said, a sex-positive world, and so I'm open to a lot of things, but I definitely also believe that there's, in this particular country, depending on where you live and in the cultural and traditions, are we ready for kids to be sexual beings? And me, myself, I'm not one to, I believe in the age of consent for myself and for my children and being prepared. I agree that the laws are surely arbitrary oftentimes when it comes to sex and sexuality, but that's one of those things that I'm okay with. Believe that we live our lives to the best that we can, and that's a difficult question. I wish I had all the answers. There's a caller from 480. I'm gonna put you on the air. How you doing, 480?
Oh, hello, sir.
Hey, how are you today? Oh, not too bad. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Although I have been better. I had a date that gone pretty bad, and I thought you could give me some advice on it.
Sure.
So she comes over, and we're in the middle of watching a movie, And so I give her like some of my cheapest wine. You know, we're watching the movie. It's the Avengers. She's apparently a bit of a lightweight, and the wine goes straight to her head. And she starts talking about sex. And she mentions her ex never went down on her, and I say something along the lines of, "What an idiot." I don't know what I was saying. And so she goes in for a kiss, and we kiss for a couple of seconds, and she pulls away, and I, for reasons unknown, need to fill a non-existent void. And I say, I could give you the old lickaroo. And I said it jokey and cheeky, but there was no way that didn't sound weird. I may have sort of winked a bit. She looks at me like I'm a shoe sniffer and pulls away and says, yeah. And she goes to the bathroom for a couple of minutes. And she comes back, and we're watching the movie, and I put my hand on her knee in an attempt to salvage. And we make awkward small talk for a while, but then she leaves, and it's very awkward, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, that's an interesting one. Well, the one thing about relationships and trying to salvage a situation that seems to be awkward, like you said, in the chat room, people talking about she looked at you like you were a shoe sniffer, but one of the things that I have found out, man, and I mean that in earnest, is that in our relationships and when we're trying to find people to care for us and we want to care for them, is that, we can't control other people's reaction. If you were sincere and, you're talking about
Black supremacy.
Blog Talk Radio.
Black supremacy.
Sexuality.
You listening to King Noble,
that nature,
Black Supremacy, Paradigm
no reason
Shift
why,
Radio.
You shouldn't have been able to talk about sex and sexuality with her. And, if she then feels afraid or feels awkward, then, we know that this person was not the one for you to continue to have those sorts of conversations. Or you'll find out later on that her awkwardness may have had more to do with her than you. And so I told a caller earlier, that's where more communication is definitely needed. If you guys are still talking, conversation on the phone, you might even ask her, was, what you said out of place and awkward for her. But thanks for that call. I really appreciate it. I'm calling. There's someone from 419, and I'm going to take one more and give another caller or two. See what's up. Hey, from 419, how are you?
I'm pretty good. You?
Oh, I can't complain. What can I do you for?
All right. Well, I was talking to this girl for, 2 years, 3 years, and we were on and off for a while, and then she told me that the reason that we never really got close or anything was because, well, she was she didn't say molested, but she implied it. You know what I'm saying? And and she was over it and everything. As much as you can get over it. And I was trying to figure out when it happened. She lived in a really sheltered Christian home, and they built a church and they lived there and all this. And I just want to know, okay, so I asked her, right? And you can't just bring it up in conversation oh, hey, when did you get raped? But I asked her, and I go, so what happened? And she got all emotional, and she started telling me a story about how because we live in eastern Kentucky, northeastern Kentucky. It's really Christian here, but she has family up in Detroit. She went up to Detroit, and they were hanging out and such with their, I think it was their cousins, second cousins, and they went to a Red Wings game, and when they left, I guess in the parking lot, they were older, a bunch of black dudes, they were just a bunch of gangsters, and this all happened, and then she got separated from her family somehow, and then they found her half an hour later, and she looked up, asked her family, like, why do niggers tongue my anus? And I didn't know, like, I don't know how to help make her feel better about it, and it's just really emotional, and I just need help with this. Like, what do I say to her to make her feel better?
Now, you said, what do you do to make her feel better after,
I mean, she just keeps asking me that question over and over again. Like, I don't know how to answer her. Like, how do I make her... Okay, like, bottom line is she's kind of racist now, but, I mean, like, I'm trying to help her through it. She knows it's wrong, but she just keeps asking me that question, and I don't know how to answer her. It's, like, really awkward now because it's starting to get into a really big deal.
Mm-hmm. Well, interestingly enough, when I was talking about transition and erotic transitions and things of that nature, is that, people have to let go of. There's nothing that you can do to really make her feel better. That's one of the things that I realized about the erotic world and trying to do our best in it and be with people who have either been abused or, whatever transition that they're trying to make into a new life and new lifestyle, is that you really can't do the work for anybody. There's nothing in particular that you're going to be able to do to make her not racist or not, be hurt or, not have some sort of pain in her life about, what went on in her life. The only thing that you can do is be supportive, and if you plan to be with her in your life, to be supportive and move forward with her and do the best that you can. But no, you're not going to be able to make someone, give up racism. In my opinion, this is a radio show that is open to people of all races and all sexual orientations and things of that nature, really trying to be more of a love movement than that. I just know that many of us hide behind things like race and orientation and anger and things of that nature to protect ourselves from what we perceive to be dangers out there in the world. It's not. It's one of the hardest subjects that we have, and hopefully that we can, move past that to the best of our ability. But thank you for that question, and I have empathy. I have dated people who have been abused, and that is not necessarily one of the easiest things, to support and to be supportive of, to help somebody get through a hard time. And like I said, I don't, can't make somebody feel better. I'm going to take one more caller, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Hello, numbers coming up as 111, but how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
How can I help you?
How are
out?
you doing?
Not bad. How about yourself?
I have this friend who I just recently was sexually assaulted in New York City by this man, and I need help kind of counseling her through that.
Counseling someone who's really been hurt?
Yeah. Like she's got scars and it's like black eye, broken bones. It's really bad.
Yeah, abuse is one of the hardest things to help people transition through. Like our last caller said, you have to be, if you know your own life, you have to be sort of a ready to move on. You have to be able to imagine that there's something else. One of the hardest things that I have found is trying to talk to someone, particularly someone that I love, be in an abusive relationship, and I say, hey, man, don't you know that he or she, you can do better than that. You can move on. You can be in a better place, and you can, live a different life. But if someone can't imagine a better life for him or herself, it's very hard for us to give that to the person.
He was like a pretty scary looking dude. Like if I could give you a description of him, he was pretty tall. He was African American. He had like a beard mustache combo, some earrings. Wore a brown fedora with a blue tie, brownish jacket. It is terrible.
And you said this guy was abusive, you're saying?
Yeah, he was the one who raped her.
Oh. Well,
and she's
if you know somebody who has been a rapist, the best thing that I can tell folk is to really be out there and report such stuff.